In this equation, we're going to be writing out the net ionic equation of a reaction between hydrochloric acid and potassium hydroxide. The first step in doing this is writing out and balancing the equation between hydrochloric acid and potassium hydroxide. So we have a rule that the cation of the first molecule is going to pair up with the anion of the second molecule, whereas the cation of the second molecule is going to pair up with the anion of the first molecule. So they just kind of swap partners. And I color-coded those respectively, and we know that from that the potassium is going to form with the chlorine and the hydrogen is going to form with the hydroxide to form water. We know that water is a liquid. That's important because everything that is not aqueous we are not going to be finding the ion charges of. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down for every single molecule of water. Now we can go ahead and we can go through every single molecule that's aqueous and write out its ion charges. So we know that that the hydrogen has a +1 charge, that the chlorine has a negative charge, that the potassium has a +1 charge, that the hydroxide has a negative charge, that the potassium has a plus charge, and that the chlorine has a negative charge. And we can do this and find this by knowing that the group of each of these molecules tells us where they lie in the periodic table and what charges they have based on what group they're in. So next step to do is that we have to cross out the molecules that we have on both sides of the equation. So for example, we have chlorine over here and we also have chlorine with a negative charge over here, so those match together. We're going to cross them out. Now the only other molecule that we have with that same scenario is the potassium. So we're going to cross out the potassium on both sides as well. And that leaves us with hydrogen plus the hydroxide forming water. And once again, we're not writing out the ion charge of water because it's not aqueous, but we still have to write out the charges of the hydrogen and the hydroxide. So our final answer for this equation is that the net ionic equation between hydrochloric acid and potassium hydroxide is hydrogen plus hydroxide forms water.